So once upon a time, I was working as a steward outside of a stadium, not too far from my house. The details of the job aren't relevant, but something that I do remember till this day, this was maybe 5, 6 years ago, but I was speaking to a coworker not too older than me, maybe in his late 20s. Something that stuck with me that he said was, you have to be scared. You have to be scared. So when he said that, I thought nothing of it. And to this day, I have no idea what he meant by that. Like, now in my maturity, it's been a long time since then. I feel like I've made my own conclusion as to what he was talking about. In life, if you're not nervous, if you're not scared of anything that you're currently doing, if the goal is too lofty and if you're in positions where you're uncomfortable, that's where we need to be. As humans, we progress through being uncomfortable, through being tested through fire. Just like how a blade, when it's made with a torch, I'm pretty sure, or it's made with heat, and it's shaped in a way that a blade is meant to be shaped. Now, the same thing applies to humans. Humans, we have to go through being uncomfortable, being scared, being nervous, constantly, to keep elevating in life. We have to go through these moments of being uncomfortable and stepping out of our comfort zone. We have to go through those kind of things. Because if you think about it, the true nature of a successful person isn't to be sedentary, isn't to just stay in their comfort zones. There has to be some sort of pressure, some sort of, like fire up their butt. But looking back at that guy, among other things he used to waffle about, he did mention that he didn't do the things that he wanted to do in his early 20s. He was stuck at this job, doing niche, getting paid nothing. It wasn't his ideal. He had a lot of regrets. He was a waffler, but he had a lot of regrets. So I guess looking at his position, maybe he wasn't scared enough in life. Maybe he's looking back and he regrets not being uncomfortable. Alhamdulillah. In my life, I want to do the hard things. I want to do the scary things. I want to do the thrilling things. Things that will change me into the person that I never would have thought I would become. I'm tired of being who I am now. Obviously, I'm not there yet. We're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm still scared. I still can't be bothered to do certain things, Sometimes I do like to be sedentary, as bad as it is. Humans are not designed to do hard things. Dopamine is at its lowest before we do the hard things. Before you go on that run and you don't feel like going on that run, your dopamine is all-time low. Once you do the run, it's at all-time high. So we're actually not designed to do the hard things. That's why the small exception of humans that can do the hard things despite all of the feelings that they might be feeling, those are the superhumans. They're defying logic themselves as humans. They're defying that. And that's why I think there are chosen ones on this earth. People that have been chosen to have that fire despite conditions, despite their brain, despite the challenges that they face in their head, the demons that they face in their head. Despite all that, I want to be the chosen one. I want to be part of that small 1%. And something that I really don't want to do in life is regret, even at such a small age. See, regret actually manifests itself on people. Like, you can see the way they live their life with regret. It shows. And regret is a living thing. You can see it on people. You can feel it from people. And it's something that I really want to just stay away from. Obviously, in life, we always think about the other side of the coin. What if I didn't go to uni and I worked? What if I led a life of physical health and well-being? Humans are always going to think about, what if I did that? What if I did this? Despite their life being so nice and lovely, us humans are always going to think about what ifs or could have beens. It's human nature to think about things that we could have chosen instead of our current choices. So there's this neuroscientist online. He has a podcast. I think it's called Andrew Huberman. And he had an episode with David Goggins as we all know, the hardest man in the world. And he was explaining that there's a part of the brain that grows every time you do something that is hard or something that you don't want to do. He mentioned it's big in athletes and it's bigger in people who've lived a full life to a late age of doing things that they didn't want to do, of sticking to a diet, of sticking to a regime, exercise regime, sticking to a job that might be hard, that might be grueling at times. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to put a middle finger up, but of living a life that's worth it through gratification that is completely delayed, through delayed dopamine hits, a full life to a late age. That part of the brain grows big. The number one common factor in successful people is sticking to things, their grit. So make sure you have grit.